I've been seeing so many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all these deportation things. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. Asian people, we support the country. We support, the betterment of the country. We support that. So what is there to say? What is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals.
Asian Americans did not overwhelmingly vote for Donald Trump, but you know who did? Korean Americans did, specifically in Georgia. And why does that matter? Because of what happened in Georgia the other day. Now, the last time I called out Korean Americans for their vote for Trump, I got called a lot of things on this app, in my comments and in my DMs from other Asians. So I will say this, it wasn't all Asians, wasn't even a majority of Asians, but it was 64% of Korean Americans in Georgia, and that is relevant to this conversation. Because those factory workers, those Korean nationals who are now having to deal with a legal nightmare, probably lost wages because you think Hyundai is paying for them while they're being detained. It was their cousins, their American cousins, who made all of this possible. I've said for a while that Korean Americans have attached themselves to whiteness. Korean Americans have attached themselves to this idea that they're better than other Asians and better than other people of color. Not all Koreans feel this way. I certainly did not grow up feeling this way. My family does not feel this way. Don't come at me. If this isn't you, congratulations, you're one of the good ones. But I'm telling you, 64% of Korean Americans in Georgia voted for Donald Trump. And I'm speaking to them specifically. They will never see you as American. The Red Hatters, they will never see you as an equal member of society. And that might actually be okay with some of you because you have placed them at a higher status than even yourself. And you put your cousins in trouble because of it. Now, the reason some Korean Americans gave for their vote for Trump was for the economy, immigration, and wokeness. And I have to assume that some Korean Americans in Georgia who voted for Trump might start to be waking up.
The way these people were being treated is what matters. I didn't know a damn thing about the Koreans. That wasn't my dish. And obviously that's being investigated because they had work visas that had expired.
Here's how Korea is reacting to the ICE raids at the Hyundai battery plant in Georgia. This has come as quite a shock to South Korea right now because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids.
I stopped listening after you said that because y'all really thought, oh, you were one of the good ones. You thought a lot of you East Asian, because you had pale skin, y'all were safe. And y'all thought it was only exclusively for the Latino, the brown skin folk. I really hope this is a wake-up call for a good chunk of the Asian community in the USA because they're coming after everybody. Black folk for years have been saying, hey, you're in danger too. The Latino community have been saying this for years, y'all in danger. Heck, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of Asian American friends have told y'all, hey, they're coming after everybody. I really, really hope this is a wake-up call for everybody, for every minority out there who doesn't realize who votes for Trump, who vote Republican. They're coming after you too. And all these raids, it's all because they're afraid of becoming the minority. White people are afraid to become the minority. And that's why they're going after everybody. And they are willing to ruin their livelihoods, their local economies, just to maintain white supremacy.
An Asian girl really got up here and said, well, ICE usually doesn't target Asian people. Did you just figure out that you're a minority? Money and respectability politics won't ever work out in your favor. It never equates to being white and rich, the two things you need to be, which you're not if you're Asian. So, And where the Asians for Trump at? Y'all real quiet. Really quiet. Yeah, it's all fun and game to laugh at black and brown people until it's your turn. Oh, wait. And then she said, well, ICE usually just removes the criminals. Hilarious. They don't think they are a minority. And I don't know if it's just the education or colonialism, whatever the case may be. I'm speechless because it's like watching it in real time. You wouldn't think that you would have these examples set out in front of you once you read about them, once you read about a proximity, respectability politics, and you see the shit in action. You're like, wow. Oh, no wonder why we're all in this situation. Clearly, a lot of y'all don't think you're a minority. A lot of y'all don't understand the construct of this society and how it depends on you being a minority. Interesting.
A lot of Asian Americans thought that they were exempt from the ICE raids, and they are quickly finding out that that is not the case. Nonetheless, I saw somebody say that they looked at the stats and over 60% of Asians in Georgia voted for Trump. So they voted for this administration who is doing mass deportations, thinking that it was not going to affect their community. And I seen an Asian girl making a video about it, and she literally said Korean or Asians are normally not the target, when it comes to deportation. Y'all remember what happened when they fought and sued to get rid of affirmative action, and then their acceptance rates decreased tremendously, while acceptance rates of African Americans or black people who they thought were getting in by affirmative action remained the same. They think they are the exception, and every time they find out.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. The reality check came hard and fast in Georgia. Asian Americans who for years believed that being hardworking, educated, and financially successful would shield them from America's harsh realities are now realizing something painful. After a wave of massive ICE raids swept through Georgia, targeting immigrant communities, many Asian Americans who once distanced themselves from other minorities finally saw the truth. They are not considered white in America. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let me play you a few more and I'll come back with more commentary.
Am I the only one that watched the Anna Cook video of her? And preface to say, I follow her on social media. I like how she reports. I think it's very concise and very relatable. Anyways, am I the only one that thought she meant native Koreans when she said, for Koreans, it came as quite a shock? To me, I thought as a Korean American, she meant like Korean people in Korea, and also the Korean people in Georgia, like who got arrested. It came as quite a shock to them. But also, yes, I guess I live in a very different bubble of Korean Americans where we are very politically active. We're outspoken about the ICE raids, and we are all LA based. And so for me, it looks slightly different. But I also could understand that for people that don't have very many Korean American friends, don't know that much about Korean people in general, the blanket statement of them being a model minority and them being very adjacent to whiteness and wanting to be adjacent to whiteness they're all true. Both things can exist. The fact that there's very politically active people like us, and also people who are feeding into, there's Asian Trumpers too. We all exist. And I think, to me, it feels very, I guess, shallow, or feels like very one-sided, because to me, I kind of I was like, yeah, I kind of know what she meant. But also, if she didn't mean it like that, yeah, there are those communities of Korean people that I know. And if she meant Korean Americans, yes, I know them. Like, say, the people from the OC or wherever, like, there's pockets of Korean Americans in America that obviously feed into this, like, model minority myth, and also them thinking, like, oh my God, we're not part of immigrants. I totally have witnessed it. I'm talking to my parents all the time, and he literally said, let's move to Georgia. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, did you not hear what happened? Like, do you think you're exempt from the realities of this world because you're not, quote unquote, like, anyways, so that's how I took it. I do think that, I don't need her to clarify. I think I'm just seeing a lot of discourse kind of like really bashing her. And it's not to say, and I don't want to ever like put words in her mouth, because I don't know what she meant. Did she meant native Koreans or Korean Americans? Because they're both true. Like, I feel, but I think that when you just put a blanket statement of Korean Americans thinking, oh, they're exempt. No, I honestly, this whole time, especially born and raised in LA, we never thought we were exempt from it, because we see the trickle down effects. We know that once they come for one person, they're gonna come for all of us. Like, at the end of the day, if you are not a white person in America, this is the reality. Like, I think it was all in due time. We already knew that, when we think about Asian people, Southeast Asian people have been affected by ICE the entire time. Nobody talks about them because obviously racism. So I think that I honestly, I don't even know. There's so much to say, but I'll just end it with this.
that whatever she meant, both things could be true, but I also don't want to discount the other Korean Americans that are obviously very, very small subset of us who are trying to do the work, who have been outspoken since day one. We're here, and unfortunately, some of the algorithm shuns us out because nobody wants us to talk about it. Nobody wants to let other people know that we're also in this fight as well. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents.
For decades, the so-called model minority myth made Asian Americans believe they were closer to whiteness than to Black or Latino communities. They were praised for being quiet, compliant, and successful. They were told they had made it in America, proof that the system worked if you only worked hard enough. Many bought into that narrative, some even aligning themselves with conservative politics, thinking they would be protected by proximity to whiteness. But when ICE raided Hyundai factory in Georgia, rounding up workers, that illusion shattered. The raids were not just about undocumented immigrants. They were a reminder that in America, race comes first. When the government wants to crack down, when the system wants to flex its power, it doesn't matter how many degrees you have, how much money you've saved, or how much you've assimilated. You are not white, and therefore you are not safe. Georgia has a growing Asian American population. Many came seeking opportunity, education, and stability. They opened businesses, sent their kids to good schools, and embraced the so-called American dream. But this dream has always been fragile, and now it's crumbling. Asian Americans in Georgia have just learned what others have always known. You can play by all the rules, you can follow the script, you can give everything to America, but if you are not white, you will always be one step away from being targeted. The question now is, what will they do with this knowledge? Will they retreat in silence, hoping to ride out the storm, or will they join the fight for justice, standing with those who have been in the trenches for generations? Because one thing is certain, pretending to be white will not serve them. Whiteness is not a costume you can put on when it suits you. It is a system of exclusion. And no matter how close Asian Americans thought they were, the ICE raids in Georgia just proved they are still on the outside looking in. This is not just about Georgia. This is about America as a whole. Every minority community faces the same dilemma: fight separately and be crushed, or fight together and demand change. Asian Americans are at a crossroads, and what they do next will define the future in America. So the question is, will they finally realize that their liberation is tied to the liberation of all people of color? Will they see that solidarity is not weakness but strength? Or will they go back to chasing an illusion that has already betrayed them? Because the truth is clear. The raid was America's way of saying, you are not white, you will never be. The only way forward is unity, resistance, and a rejection of the lies that kept communities divided for so long. So what do you all think? Will Asian Americans finally realize that they're not white after the ICE raids? And do you think this will push them forward towards solidarity with other minorities? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have a FAFO playlist, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, the Joy Report out.